In the ancient city of Avalon, a legend whispered through the ages. It spoke of a hidden realm, a place of immense power and ancient secrets. Arcanum, they called it, a city lost to time and shrouded in mystery. Ava, a young archaeologist with a burning passion for the unknown, had spent years poring over the dusty pages of ancient texts, searching for any clue that might lead her to Arcanum. Her obsession grew with each passing day, fueled by the tantalizing whispers of the legend. One fateful day, while sifting through a collection of rare artifacts, Ava stumbled upon a peculiar stone. Its surface was etched with symbols that seemed to shimmer with an otherworldly light. Intrigued, she began to study the stone, her heart pounding with excitement as she deciphered the cryptic message. The stone revealed a map, a guide to the hidden entrance of Arcanum. It was a revelation, a chance to uncover the secrets that had been guarded for millennia. Ava knew she couldn't do it alone. She needed a seasoned adventurer, someone who could navigate the perilous wilds and protect her from the dangers that surely lurked within. That's when she met Draven, a grizzled veteran with a reputation for his courage and skill. He was a man of few words, but his eyes held a spark of adventure that mirrored Ava's own. Together, they formed an unlikely partnership, their destinies intertwined by the allure of the lost city. With the map in hand, they set off on their perilous quest. The journey would be fraught with danger, filled with treacherous terrain, mythical creatures, and the ever-present threat of the unknown. But Ava and Draven were determined, driven by a shared passion for discovery and a thirst for the extraordinary. "You're sure this is the place?" Draven scrutinized the dense foliage, his hand resting on the hilt of his sword. "Positive," Ava replied, her eyes gleaming with excitement as she traced the map with a trembling finger. "The inscription on the artifact I found pointed here. This is the entrance to Arcanum." The weathered adventurer raised an eyebrow. "If that old map of yours is correct, we're about to step into the lion's den." Ava's heart pounded in her chest, a mix of exhilaration and nerves. The archaeologist had spent years studying the legends of Avalon, a lost city rumored to hold ancient riches and secrets beyond imagination. Now, with the help of Draven, she was on the cusp of discovering it all. They pushed through the thick underbrush, the air growing cooler and heavier with every step. The towering trees of Arcanum whispered secrets that only the forest's oldest inhabitants could understand. Ava felt a strange energy pulsing through the ground beneath her, hinting at the magic that once thrived in the lost city. As the foliage parted, they found themselves in a clearing. The ruins of a long-abandoned structure loomed before them, its stones covered in moss and vines. It was unlike anything either of them had seen before, a silent sentinel to a world forgotten by time. "Looks like we're not the first to have this idea," Draven said, gesturing to a path worn through the vegetation. "Or maybe we're just the first to make it this far," Ava countered, her eyes fixed on the archway that marked the forest's edge. The adventure had just begun. They followed the path, the forest's whispers giving way to the crackle of dead leaves underfoot. The ruins grew grander as they approached, their grandeur hinting at the once mighty civilization that had called this place home. The archaeologist and Ava was eager to explore every nook and cranny, but the urgency of their quest pushed them forward. Draven, ever the cautious one, took the lead. His years in the wild had honed his instincts, and he didn't miss the subtle signs that danger lurked nearby. He held up a hand, and Ava stopped in her tracks. Through a break in the foliage, they spotted a creature unlike any they had encountered before. Half panther, half serpent, its emerald eyes gleaming in the dappled sunlight. The creature seemed as surprised to see them as they were of it. It hissed, its forked tongue flicking out, then lunged. Draven stepped aside, and Ava's reflexes took over. She threw a handful of sand in its eyes, blinding it momentarily. Seizing the opportunity, Draven swung his sword, slicing through the creature's thick hide with a grunt of effort. As the creature slithered away, defeated, Ava couldn't help but feel a twinge of pity. It was just another guardian of the forest, protecting what it knew as sacred. Yet, they had to continue, driven by the whispers of history that beckoned them closer to Avalon. The path grew steeper, the trees more twisted and ancient. The air thickened with the scent of blooming flora that seemed to glow with an otherworldly light. It was a sight to behold, but they had little time to admire the beauty surrounding them. The forest had begun to whisper again, this time with a sense of urgency that sent shivers down their spines. The ground trembled, and the air grew colder. They looked up to see a wall of shadows descending upon them, the outline of a colossal creature within the dark mass. The guardian, Ava, breathed, her hand tightening around the artifact she carried. Draven readied his crossbow, his eyes narrowed. "We're not leaving without what we came for," he growled. The creature stepped into the light, revealing itself to be a monolithic statue come to life. The corrupted guardian of Avalon. Its stone skin was marred with cracks of dark energy, its eyes burning with a fierce, malevolent power. It spoke in a voice that seemed to echo through the very fabric of the forest, a challenge that resonated in their very souls. "You dare to disturb the slumber of the ancient?" The guardian's deep, booming voice rumbled through the clearing. Ava took a step forward, her chin high. "We seek the truth, not to desecrate, but to learn from your city's fall." The guardian's gaze bore into her. "The truth is a treasure that comes at a cost," it warned, its form shifting into a more menacing stance. Draven notched an arrow, his gaze never leaving the creature. "Then we're prepared to pay," he said firmly. The battle had begun. Ava's mind raced with the knowledge she had gleaned from her studies, while Draven drew upon his extensive combat experience. They were a formidable duo, but the Guardian was ancient and powerful, a force of nature corrupted by untold dark magic. The air crackled with energy as the Guardian conjured bolts of lightning from its stone fists. Draven and Ava dove aside, narrowly avoiding the attack. They were in for the fight of their lives, and the fate of Avalon hung in the balance. "Use the artifact," Draven shouted to Ava, who was scrambling to her feet. She clutched the ancient object to her chest, its runes glowing faintly in response to the Guardian's dark power. Taking a deep breath, Ava focused her thoughts, trying to harness the artifact's magic. The runes grew brighter, and she felt a warmth spread through her body. She threw her arm forward, and a beam of pure light shot out from the artifact, striking the Guardian. The creature roared, staggering back. The light pierced the dark energy, leaving a trail of shattered stone in its wake. Ava and Draven exchanged a look of hope. Maybe they had a chance after all. The Guardian recovered quickly, its eyes now fixed on Ava with an unnerving intensity. It lunged again, but this time, Draven stepped in, crossbow bolt singing as it flew towards the creature's chest. The bolt hit true, lodging deep into the stone, but the Guardian barely flinched. "The power of this artifact is ancient," Ava murmured, her voice shaking. "But so is the corruption in the Guardian. We must find a way to cleanse it, not just defeat it." Draven nodded, understanding her plan. As the creature bore down on them, he took aim with another bolt, this one imbued with a faint green glow. It hit the Guardian in the same spot, and the stone around the first bolt began to crack. The creature roared again, stumbling. Together, they pressed the attack. Ava's light and Draven's bolts chipped away at the corruption, each strike weakening the Guardian's grip on the forest. The air grew warmer as the shadows receded and the once dormant plants and animals stirred back to life. The Guardian, feeling its power wane, made one final, desperate attempt to crush them under its massive form. Ava saw the attack coming and rolled aside, her eyes never leaving the creature. She knew that if they could just hold on a little longer, they could save Avalon. With a mighty roar, Draven leaped into the air and plunged his sword into the cracked stone of the Guardian's chest. The blade sank in, and a burst of light erupted from the wound. The creature's form trembled, and the dark energy surrounding it dissipated like smoke. As the light faded, the Guardian's eyes cleared. The stone creature looked around, confusion etched in its ancient features. It turned to Ava, its voice now gentle. "You have freed me," it said, its voice now a soft rumble. "Take what you seek, but remember, knowledge comes with responsibility." The creature crumbled to dust, and the forest was once again still. Ava and Draven looked at each other, breathless and exhausted, but victorious. They had bested the Guardian and lifted the curse from Avalon. The path to the lost city was now clear, and the secrets it held waited for them. They stepped into the archway, their hearts pounding in anticipation of the wonders they would uncover within the crumbling walls of the once great civilization. The journey was far from over, and the truth they sought was likely to be as complex as the city itself. But with courage and wisdom, they would unravel the mysteries of Avalon, ensuring its legacy would live on. Ava and Draven continued along the now-revealed path, the ruins of the city emerging through the foliage like ghosts of a bygone era. The grandeur of the structures took their breath away. The intricate carvings and ancient symbols spoke of a culture rich in history and knowledge. As they moved deeper into the city, they encountered traps and puzzles, remnants of a time when the inhabitants had sought to protect their home from outsiders. Their first challenge was a labyrinthine puzzle that seemed to shift and change before their very eyes. The air was thick with the scent of magic, and the very stones whispered hints of their true path. Ava's knowledge of ancient Avalon texts allowed her to interpret the cryptic inscriptions on the walls, while Draven's instincts helped him sense the false paths. As they delved deeper into the city, they stumbled upon the marketplace, now a silent testament to the vibrant life that once bustled within its walls. Overturned carts and abandoned goods lay scattered, as if the inhabitants had disappeared in an instant. The sight was eerie, but it fueled their desire to uncover the city's fate. The climax of their adventure unfolded in the heart of Avalon, the great library, a bastion of knowledge now buried under layers of dust and decay. Here, the true treasure lay, not gold or jewels, but the records of a civilization that had once held sway over the world. The library's doors were sealed with an ancient rune that radiated a palpable energy. Ava approached with trepidation, feeling the weight of her quest pressing down upon her. Carefully, she placed the artifact against the rune. The doors groaned open, revealing the chamber within. The room was vast, the shelves laden with scrolls and tomes, their pages yellowed with age. The air was thick with the scent of ancient parchment and the whispers of forgotten spells. It was a place of power where the very fabric of reality seemed to bend to the will of those who sought understanding. Ava's eyes widened with wonder, and she knew that the secrets within these pages would change the course of history. But the journey had taken its toll, and they had to tread carefully. The corruption that had once tainted the Guardian could still be lurking, waiting for the chance to claim new hosts. Draven stood guard, his crossbow at the ready, while Ava pored over the tomes, searching for the key to the city's downfall. Her eyes scanned the ancient script, her heart racing as she pieced together the story of Avalon's destruction. It was a tale of pride, ambition, and the hubris of those who sought to harness the power of the gods. The truth was a heavy burden to bear, but they knew it was one they had to share. As they prepared to leave the library, Ava felt a strange presence, a whisper of the past reaching out to her. It was the spirit of the city's founder, bound by his own mistakes to watch over his creation's fate. He spoke of the Great Eclipse, a cosmic event that had unlocked a well of power within Avalon, and the chaos that ensued when the city's leaders attempted to harness it. The cataclysm had not been an act of the gods, but a disaster of their own making. The spirit thanked them for releasing the city from the Guardian's corrupt grip and warned them to guard the knowledge they found, lest history repeat itself. Ava nodded solemnly, feeling the gravity of the responsibility that now rested on her shoulders. With newfound determination, they set forth to share their discoveries with the world. But they knew that the journey to Avalon was just the beginning of a much larger quest, a quest to ensure that the city's tragic story would serve as a lesson to all who sought power and glory. As they made their way out of the library, the whispers grew stronger. The spirits of the city's inhabitants, long trapped in the shadows of the ruins, had taken notice of the outsiders. Some watched with curiosity, while others bore the marks of anger and despair. Ava felt a deep sadness wash over her, a testament to the lives lost in the city's downfall. The path grew treacherous as they approached the city's edge. The very ground seemed to fight against them, as if the land itself was wary of their intentions. Draven's experience in the wild was invaluable as they navigated the shifting terrain and avoided the vengeful spirits that sought to delay their departure. The sun was setting by the time they reached the clearing where their adventure had begun. The light painted the ruins in shades of gold and red, casting long shadows that danced with the whispers of the forest. Ava could feel the weight of Avalon's history in every step she took, the knowledge of its fate a solemn burden she now carried. They stepped through the archway, the world of the living once again enveloping them. Ava took one last look back, her eyes lingering on the city that had captured her imagination and filled her with purpose. The whispers of the forest grew softer, and she knew that the spirits of Arcanum were watching them go. The trek back to civilization was fraught with its own perils, but the bond between Ava and Draven had grown stronger with each challenge they faced. They encountered more of the forest's mysterious creatures, but this time they approached with a newfound respect for the balance of power that governed the ancient lands. Upon their return, they were met with astonishment and disbelief. The artifacts they brought back, along with the tales of the Guardian and the Great Eclipse, shook the foundations of the academic community. Yet, amidst the excitement and wonder, Ava remained guarded. The power of the knowledge they had uncovered was immense, and she knew that it could easily be misused. Their revelation sparked a new era of exploration and understanding, one that would challenge the very fabric of their world. As they shared their story, they became the heralds of a new age, one where the line between legend and reality grew ever thinner. The legend of Avalon had been revived, and with it, a cautionary tale that would echo through the annals of time. Their journey into Arcanum had changed them, leaving a mark on their souls that could never be erased. Ava's passion for archaeology grew even stronger, her eyes set on uncovering more of the world's lost history. And Draven found a new respect for the ancient lands and the secrets they held. Together, they became the guardians of Avalon's legacy, ensuring that the city's truths were not lost to time once more. The whispers of the forest followed them, a constant reminder of the responsibility that now rested upon their shoulders. And as they ventured forth into the world, the whispers grew fainter, the forest's embrace slowly loosening. Yet, the allure of Arcanum remained, beckoning them to return and discover the countless other mysteries that lay hidden beneath its ancient boughs. Their tale of adventure and discovery was far from over, for the whispers of Avalon had only just begun. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, consider subscribing to stay updated with our latest stories. Give us a like if you want to see more, and drop a comment below to let us know your thoughts.